Hey,
Let's
how you
go. Let's go. All right, Cloud. It's your host, Monte Gaddis, and I'm here with a very, very special guest. We got our, how can I explain it? NBA star right here. He's from Australia. He plays for my hometown team, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Let's give it up for Matthew Dellavedova. Let's go. Let's go.
how
Let's
you
go. Let's
doing?
go. How you doing today, man?
I'm great, thanks. How you doing?
I'm doing great. First off, I just want to say, thank you, for giving me this opportunity. It's not just for myself, it's for my job. I work at University Settlement. I'm a youth specialist there, and you're doing great things for the city. I just want to just take this opportunity to be able to just to dig in, ask you some questions and everything, man. I appreciate this.
Yeah, no worries. You guys are doing amazing work, and I hope everyone's staying safe and healthy.
Yes, yes, yes. Everybody's going to be tuned into this. So I got a few questions from the staff. I got a few questions from the children, and I threw in a little sprinkle. Actually, you ready to dive in?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, so our first question we're going to start with, this is a question from London. She asked you, why did you choose to play basketball?
My dad played basketball, and my mum would pick me up from kindergarten when I was 4 years old and take me up to the local stadium. And I would join in the skill sessions and get in the games. And she likes to tell me I would run up and down the court just waving at her. So I wasn't too, I guess, in the action to start with, but I got into it soon after.
Okay, and what age would you say that was at?
That was 4 years old, so I was an early starter, and it's always been my favorite sport.
Okay, that's nice. That's awesome. Harmony would like to ask, what is your favorite movie and why?
My favorite movie. I'm not a huge movie guy, but probably the Rockies. I think I love a good underdog story, and I always feel inspired to work harder after watching those.
That's definitely right. I feel the same way. Okay, so everybody knows you're from Australia, but can you tell me what city you're from and just give me a few facts about the city?
Yeah, so I'm from a town called Maryborough, which is in the state of Victoria, 2 hours away from Melbourne, which is the
Okay, I'm
biggest
familiar.
city. We're in the bush, so there's 8,500 people. Yeah, a very sport mad town. Like everybody plays sport. I grew up playing basketball, tennis, cricket, soccer, Australian football, but basketball was always number one. So
Wow.
it was a great place to grow up. We would ride our bikes to friends' places. In summer, it gets hot, so we would go to the local swimming pool. It was a great place to grow up.
Wow. Did you say cricket? That's like a different sport. I heard that sport takes like 2 days to finish. Like, how can you stay in tune with
So
that?
I played more the backyard version, but I guess the equivalent over here is baseball.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Well, Miss Kim wanted to ask from your book, Daring Deli, was there a real life Mick in your life?
So the characters are based on some of my friends, and then a mixture of some of them. So yeah, there's definitely some that are based more strongly on others.
Right.
But
Okay.
I just wanted to change the name, so when they were either struggling or doing
Right.
something, I didn't have a real person attached to that. But I
No,
think they can
exactly.
probably tell who it is.
Got you. Okay. I got you. Okay. So you're writing the books and everything. That's awesome. I just wanted to tell you that, which one would you say is harder, basketball or writing a book?
Um, I think basketball is probably harder. I mean,
Okay.
um, I definitely had a lot of help writing the book. Whether it was somebody helping with the storyline, brainstorming, a great illustrator, writer. My family giving feedback on the different drafts. My mum's a teacher. My wife's a school teacher. One of my sisters is a school teacher, so I
Nice.
had a lot of help.
That's nice. That's nice. All right. So another question is for from Tim. Okay. He said if you had one magic or superpower, what would it be?
It would definitely be to teleport.
Ooh,
My My whole family's back in Australia. My wife's family's in California. So, we have a 5-month-old son right now. So it's tough not being able to see them right now. And even during the season, if they come over at Christmas time, which is amazing, but definitely miss them.
You know what's funny? During my practice go around, I'm usually on your side. I'm usually in your seat, getting interviewed and everything. I'm an athlete like yourself and everything. So this is my first time. It's funny. So I had to do a few, run throughs and everything. And I asked that question to Miss Melinda. She's a teacher also at the University Settlement, and she said you would say teleporting because being in Australia and coming to America, like she said that same thing. So it's kind of funny that you mentioned
That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
Right. Okay. A question from Miss Stephanie. Miss Stephanie said, during your free time, what's your favorite thing to do? Just to spend some time.
My favorite thing to do in free time, apart from hanging out with my wife and son, especially during this time where I've got to get creative doing home workouts and things like that. But without all of the travel and practice schedule, I've had a lot more time on my hands, and I've really been trying to learn as much as I can about business, some finance stuff,
Nice.
and some early stage companies. That's something that I've developed a passion for, and it's been a great way to keep my mind active in the last 5 weeks.
Nice. That's awesome. Always got to try to get ahead, right? And it's always good to try to expand your mind just a little bit,
Yeah, and I think it's interesting to learn about what other people who are trying to be great in their fields are doing. Just either reading articles or books on business people and how they think. I think you can always pick up a couple of things from other people, even if it's not, a basketball player. It could be someone from another sport or completely different industry.
Exactly. And some of the things I do, like it can be an athlete or artist. It could be a fashion designer. I listen to a lot of interviews and just to see how they're thinking, just to see the behind the scenes of their story. What do they do? Their perseverances and just how they became so successful.
Yeah, no, I think there's a lot of great podcasts out there as well. How I Built This is a great podcast. If you want to check that one out, about how people built their companies and struggles they've gone through and decisions they had to make along the way to get to where they are. Because a lot of people just see the end product, like, that I'm in the NBA, but they don't see the struggles or, the tough days that I've had to go through and keep working to be able to get this opportunity.
Right. That's the life of an athlete right there.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm a fan of this sport. I just want to know, do you watch rugby league? And if you do, what is your favorite club?
So I'm from Victoria, which is more Australian football. So there's a big rivalry in Australia between rugby league and Australian football. So I grew up more with Australian football, and my team is the Collingwood Magpies, and we have black and white stripes.
Okay, nice. I had to ask you that question. I play rugby league, and the goal is always to get to Australia. That's where the best players are at. So in the NRL, so I just had to ask you that.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'd have to go for Melbourne Storm then, I guess. Being local.
Billy Slater, I got you.
Okay.
I know a couple of things,
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the hot round. Okay, so these next questions I'm going to ask you, I'm going to need you to answer them in, let's say, less than 10 seconds. Okay, there should be short answers. I want to know. Are you ready? We got to dive in. Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay, so everything is clean. So what's your favorite beverage?
Coffee or water?
Coffee or water. Okay. What's your favorite color?
Green.
Green. Okay. Your favorite holiday?
My favorite holiday would be Christmas, because that's when my family's all together.
Okay. So this is a 2-part question. I need to know your favorite spot to eat at in Australia. If I ever visit, I want to check out that spot, and your favorite spot to eat at here in Cleveland.
My favorite spot to eat in Australia would probably be any cafe for brunch. I love my avocado toast, and every cafe has their own version. So I enjoy sampling the different versions that cafes have. And then as for Cleveland, I think it's a great city for food. I mean, there's a ton of different options. It's tough to pick one. I'd say Restore, Lucky's, Ginkgo, Mocho, and Town Hall, just to name a few. There's tons of them. There's tons of them.
I know. I'm a big foodie fan too, so it's tough for me. So I can name just 10 off the top of my head right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so what is your motivation? If you can, just put that out there or sum it up.
I just want to be the best I can be, and just keep improving every day. I think that's what I've focused on since I was a little kid, was just try to get a little bit better each day. And I think over a week, a month, a year, over 10 years, it really adds up. And at times it won't seem like you're making progress, but if you stay with it and just keep working, and you have to, know what you're working on are the right things. But if you keep, staying disciplined, have a plan and follow that plan, it'll pay off in the end.
Slow progress is better than no progress.
Yeah.
So I want to dig deeper into that question about your motivation. So as an athlete, like you said, everybody always see the positive or the successful times, the glory. But, I want you to really dig deep and tell me what really drives you when you're having a down day or downtime where, you don't feel like working out today, or you don't feel good, going to practice. What is that thing that makes you just think back like, okay, I got to do this. Let's do it. Let's do this.
Yeah. There's lots of different things. It can be, all the sacrifices my parents made by giving me opportunities, like, driving me to basketball tournaments, sacrificing, their time and effort and energy to help me follow my dreams. It could be, I imagine, one of my coaches from when I was younger or at college watching me, like what would they expect of me and what would I want to show them? Or even sometimes I imagine that some of my coaches' sons are watching me, and those younger kids, and what would they expect to see from a role model in terms of my attitude, effort, focus. And then other times it's, how I felt on draft night when I didn't get picked, or, what I was, the feeling I had when I was going into training camp trying to get a spot on a team. I would have killed for the opportunity to be able to go to practice on a roster back then. So never to take that for granted.
Man, that's deep. That's deep. You over here getting me hype over here. I lived through the underdog story, so I know how you feel. I know how you feel about not getting picked up or just fighting and climbing to the top and just paving the way, man. I love what you're doing, man. That's great.
Appreciate it.
Got it. Okay. So past or present, what player do you admire or what a fan of?
My favorite player growing up was always Steve Nash. He's another guy who had a bit of an underdog story. He didn't go to a big school, wasn't highly recruited growing up in Canada, but just worked himself into being a great player, a lottery pick, and then going on. He had struggles early in his career, despite being a high pick, and just continued to work, get better, make his teammates better, and became a 2-time MVP and had an amazing career.
Yes. Okay. Other than the championship, what was one of your favorite Cavs memories?
Obviously that's number one, and all the memories associated with that. The city and the people here were so hungry for a championship. It was amazing feeling to be a part of and be a part of history. But there was one time in my rookie season which I'll never forget. I was, I'd made the team. My contract wasn't guaranteed, but so I'm, out there playing as hard as I can, trying to prove myself. And I was on defense, and we were down by like a fair bit. The coach had put me in to try to bring some energy, and we were making a little bit of a run, and we managed to like get a stop, and then we came back down the next time. And I was denying Bradley Beal the ball. They were trying to get him the ball. I denied him once. He cut backdoor. I denied him again. He tried to get the ball. Denied him again. This is all in the one possession. And we ended up forcing a 24 shot clock violation, and the crowd was going crazy for a 24-second shot clock violation in the middle of January on a non-playoff team. And to have the fans kind of on their feet appreciating your effort on defense, that's not happening, anywhere else. And that's a fond memory I have.
That's real. That's nice. That's nice. Okay, so what are 3 things that you would like to teach your child?
That's a deep question, and something I've definitely been thinking about. I think number one, like, treat people how you want to be treated. Mm-hmm. Number 2, just try to teach a work ethic by example, by my wife's and I example, and then trying to explain to him that, if you want something, you can go for it. You got to dream big, but you're really going to have to work for it, and you're going to have to outwork people to get that thing you want. And number 3, I think, kind of related to that, is always try to be learning. No matter how old or young you are, there's always something new you can learn. You can always be growing in different aspects. And I think that if you can learn that skill, it can take you a long way.
Yes, that's how I feel at this stage of my life. It's more of a listening stage for me. I'm really stopped really talking so much and just started listening, just trying to be a sponge, just learn as much as I can from anybody. Like you said, I can learn from a 5-year-old to a 75-year-old. Doesn't matter, as long as I'm just trying to learn and just expanding my mind.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Next question. What has basketball taught you?
I mean, I could talk for hours on what it's taught me, but I think a lot of those things that I just mentioned about having a growth mindset, dealing with failures, work ethic, discipline, how to be a team player, how to motivate and lead people. It's taught me all those things and gave me, I guess, a blueprint for the rest of my life, no matter what I go into post basketball, whether it's business or teaching or coaching.
Right.
Yeah, it's gave me those lessons along the way that apply to any field.
Exactly. Okay, for our last question, name 3 people you would like to have dinner with, dead or alive.
Apart from my family and friends, especially right now while we're all isolating, Steve Nash would be one. An Australian footballer named Nick Maxwell.
Okay.
He was
Nick Maxwell. Okay.
And great leader. 3.
More.
I would go with Angela Duckworth. I was actually thinking about this book the other day. She wrote a book called Grit, which is a great book. If you guys are interested in checking it out, on having like a growth mindset. What determines success is just your ability to keep working and stick at a task. And I think especially right now, it would be great to ask her some questions. While we're all living in different circumstances, no one has their regular routine. It's easy, or could be easy, to make excuses of not doing things that are going to help you. But I think if you can find a way to stay disciplined, whether it's having a schedule, creating your own personal routine, and setting some little goals. You can come out of this, a better person, and smarter and better prepared for when you get out. So you have a plan when we all get out of this, and you can kind of try to go to the next level.
Exactly, and that's the game plan. That wraps it up right there. I just want to give you a round of applause one more time. Let's give him a round of applause, everybody. Let's go. Let's go. Awesome work. Awesome work. I just want to thank you again, taking the time out your day to interview and just let me ask you, pick your brain right quick. This was fun for me. Like I said, this is my first time interviewing a professional athlete. Hopefully things go on from here. I just want to say thank you. Do you have any more comments or any questions or anything just to end this?
All the University of Settlement kids, I know it's tough right now, and with the routine and things like that, and just try to find ways to get better at home, whether it's reading a book, or if you're into sports, like doing some push-ups at home or some sit-ups, some jump rope. There's always little ways you can get better. So just try to find little ways to improve every day, and try to keep a routine.
There you go. And there you go. You have it from Matthew Dellavedova. Let's go, live in the flesh. Great job. I want to just wish you luck with everything you do. Stay positive. Everybody at University Settlement, we appreciate you. I appreciate you for doing things in my city that I grew up in. You're from a different country. You're doing big things like that. I just want to salute you and just keep it going.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Great job.
Have a good one, man.
All right. You too. Thanks.